Christmas, everybody, to a very special HyperOtaku. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for joining us. It's so good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. This is the final episode of the year.
It's 2017 is ending, you guys.
The year is ending, and in case you didn't know who we are, Rose, up here, I'm Matt Acevedo. That was a lot. I was going a bunch of things. And guys, every Christmas, I have this tradition where we make a whole pig with my family, Cuban style, and over like a bunch of coals in the hot box. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I am Emma Fife. And one year on Christmas, I thought that Santa didn't bring me anything for my stocking because we forgot we hung our stockings up on the fireplace in the formal living room instead of in the family room. We had 2 fireplaces in my house as a kid. I've now realized I was very privileged.
Ho, ho, ho. What a terrible story.
Missed 2 fireplaces.
And I'm Michelle Chubby Bunny. And my fun Christmas fact about me is that every year I hold a white elephant at my house, except that the gifts have to all be free garbage from your own home. It's very fun because everyone gets to give away their garbage or gifts they don't want, and everyone gets to enjoy weird old shit.
Hey, I got some booby figures. So
yeah, that's true.
I got
some
a
wifeys
Witchblade figure, and
There's
I made like a
yeah,
bandit.
yeah.
A bandit this year.
Anyway, yes, I'm Eva Warlock, back from the brink of death, and today is my cat Mycroft's 7th birthday.
Oh, happy
Cat
birthday!
birthdays are the best birthdays. And I'm Maxwell Song, and this is a story from my childhood. But I thought Santa was very Korean because for some reason, for a couple of years, I would get all of these Korean snacks. And I was like, oh, that's kind of strange.
Oh my god.
And I thought for some reason that Santa was like, just like was like a racial chameleon in which he just kind of conformed to the culture of like whatever child that they were giving it to. Yeah, but then I realized that it was my parents being super lazy and then going to the Korean market that was like next door, which still had the best snacks. So, I'm just saying.
I love it.
What a great Christmas story.
That's a beautiful Christmas story. And we are
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. This is a mess.
Guys, thank you so much. Last one of the year. Let us know how you celebrate. We want to know, are you watching anything over the break? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. But now it's time for our final Weeb Weekly of the year, everyone. That's right. The best anime news that make you the best weeboo you could possibly be, y'all. And the first.
Hey, we got animations again instead of us pretending that they were animations last week.
I did like our cues though. Our little.
I know, those are really nice.
Oh man, I'm really excited for our first news, guys. During the Jump Festa over last week, which is the Shonen Jump convention, basically, they announced a very exciting game. I am overwhelmed. They're doing the first. It's a open world One Piece game called One Piece World Seeker. And it looks amazing. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
He's seeking out worlds. By worlds, they mean countries. I just spelled countries wrong. It's fine. Hey, where's that trailer, Matty boy?
Wow, yeah.
All right, there we go.
Why
There we go. Got it.
kill One Piece
I got it.
Michelle?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
look at that. Look at that
Yeah.
fully 3D rendered Luffy.
So it's
I
supposed
love
to be
Oh boy, it looks really
fairly
good.
open
actually.
world. You play as the protagonist, Luffy, some kind of pirate guy.
Look
and,
at his little.
Look how it's so
Look
rubbery.
at his
actually.
rubber animation.
Right.
It's really
This is just
cool.
one of
Good.
3 games that Bandai
You got some
Namco
dangle on
makes.
him.
Wow,
Oh.
this looks really
Look at
fun.
those
Right,
abs.
right.
27
Fun-looking.
abs.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
boy.
how he rolls.
Yeah.
27 abs.
27
dude.
abs.
That's
Not
pretty
numbers,
awesome,
the
So is it a
actually.
fighting game?
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
it's
an
an
exploring
open
game.
open world, and what's crazy is that this home base that they're at, they're on a marine base. It looks like they're on some sort of like G8 type of style a marine base. I don't know if he's separated from the team or if they're going to be like summons or whatever.
Oh, wait,
but
oh,
there we go, there we
Oh,
go.
boy. Oh
I was in a
boy. Good
barrel.
reference. Good
Just like,
reference. I like
you
it.
know, Link does.
I'm just so excited, and I don't know, like the story. I don't know if Oda has any hands. Like, do we know if he's doing anything on
said
it?
he did write an original story for this, I think, in the news article.
Oh, he loves doing that. It
That's
would
amazing.
totally make sense if he
It's a
did.
very Oda thing to do. And, you
Yeah.
know, guys, don't forget there's going to be a One Piece live-action Hollywood movie or series. I can't remember which one.
It's a series.
And
Yeah.
Oda does have a hand in that as well. He's been carefully monitoring it so that it isn't
That's
I
nice.
don't know.
That's nice
That
to
it might
hear.
not be
I don't know.
garbage. But I don't have.
Yeah, I believe the word you're looking for
But
is garbage.
fool me once, I'm still an idiot. Fool me twice, still an idiot. So I can't.
That's
definitely not how it's
no,
said.
That's how
no.
it goes. So guys,
Never
that
heard
was
that
just
one
one of the
before.
games that Bandai Namco revealed at the Jump Festa this last weekend. They also revealed My Hero Academia One's Justice, which is yet another fighting game in the genre of games.
It's actually a Naruto. Like if you've ever played any of
Yeah.
the Shippuden
Yeah.
games, like it has
the Ninja
basic.
Storm?
Yeah, the Ninja Storms. It's basically kind of that.
Right.
The
Yeah.
system.
So
at
they're
least,
starting that with
so
My
it's
Hero
been pretty
Academia,
exciting.
and
Those
it
games
looks
good.
cute. They have the original voice actors
Yeah.
in there, and they
Great.
also revealed a trailer for Black Clover Quartet Night games.
I will wait to play
Great.
that one until I can play it in
Yeah.
English and
Yeah.
absolutely
Same.
slightly
Pretty
less
much.
annoying.
Same.
I hear the English dub isn't really less yelly, but
It is
It's
less
definitely
yelly.
better
it's
than
definitely better.
yeah, better,
than the
better.
original
but still pretty
Japanese.
screamy, which
Listen,
I'm
It's still-
surprised
he
about.
does his
pretty
he does
intense.
his
Yeah.
best. Okay,
He
He
does.
just is,
trying really hard.
yeah, exactly. He just wants everyone to know it too. But basically, I'm really excited for these games, y'all. It's basically turned up was like, yo, Matt, what do you like? Oh yeah, I got you, dude.
That One
Got you.
Piece.
That One Piece, that My Hero Academia, and I'll play the Black Clover eventually. But yeah, I'm super excited for that, and it looks like a lot of people are excited too.
Yeah, internet.
Yeah.
Toon Man 509 reminds us that hey, we are getting that live action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I heard is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see that.
actually not opposed to live action JoJo as long as they make anime but with people. And
Yeah.
I see that is possible with what was that freaking series we watched with the action figure teacher? You know what I'm talking about.
Blazing Transfer
Blazing
Students.
Blazing
Yeah.
Transfer Students,
Yeah.
exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, guys. This is like almost too Japanese to understand how it's
So
funny.
good. So good.
Black Rock Wednesday says I want Asta to sing Christmas carols. I wouldn't want
Okay.
that. I wouldn't want that, but that'd be funny. That'd be funny.
He would just be screaming Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Feelings. It would be like Linkin Park singing.
It would be
Oh.
like Linkin
Sorry, guys.
Park.
I don't love Linkin Park, but I cannot. All right, next news story.
Oh, huge ass Pikachu tail.
Put this story in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
does this
Yeah.
look like?
Sorry, that was me.
I knew
That was
it, Max.
Huge ass Pikachu tail.
I mean,
it's just a huge ass Pikachu tail. I don't know what to say
Oh
about
man,
it.
that looks
except
really
it-
comfy.
It's
Oh, it does.
literally
How is this
just
only
a
news you
huge
could
ass
find?
Pikachu tail.
You guys gotta start looking
if
at
you,
anime
If you
news.
look at all the
Exactly.
different
Stop
angles,
looking at
you can
Soren
see
news.
that it's still a huge ass Pikachu
Real
tail.
news in here.
Oh my god.
If you would like to
Oh,
scroll
fuck.
down,
No, we're
Oh,
not.
yeah.
We're not gonna
So
browse
scroll-
the internet,
scroll
guys. We're gonna
down.
get in trouble.
But you know
wow.
what that looks like
This
is
huge
one of
ass
those
Pikachu tail.
is one of
this is
those
also a huge ass Pikachu
Chicken
tail.
nugget.
No, it looks like those pillows that like pregnant ladies get so you
Oh.
can like
Yeah.
lay at the right
Yeah.
angle.
So their hips can be, yeah.
Oh, this is a
Yeah,
girl
this
squeezing.
is also a
the
huge
she
ass
doing?
Pikachu tail.
Get a friends. What
It
the hell?
looks kind of like
It looks like a-
chicken finger dipped in cheese.
Oh, I was gonna say it actually looks like a curly fry dipped in chocolate, but
It also
yeah,
looks
that
like
still
a-
works too.
Yeah, it also looks like a huge ass Pikachu tail.
Yes, it looks like a huge ass Pikachu. If you can see, there's also a huge ass Pikachu tail here.
All right, guys,
yeah.
and that's the way
ass.
the news goes.
That's
Yep.
a huge ass Pikachu tail.
I love that this was newsworthy.
Yeah, I would like to give you some real news. Rosa Versailles manga is getting 2 more chapters. That's real news. Also,
But I mean, is it as good as a huge ass Pikachu tail? I don't
Lupin
know.
the Third gets a 50th anniversary project with Monkey Punch as the chief director. That's also in
Stop
actual
googling news. Just, we didn't do it earlier.
But
We have a lot to
huge ass
talk about
Pikachu
today,
tail,
guys.
though, I feel like people needed to know because
And the
everyone's
holidays
looking
are
for a
around the
holiday.
corner,
Yeah, everyone's
and
looking
you
for a
need something
Christmas
for that
gift.
loved one while you're away
There
on your
you go.
vacation.
Wait, can you buy this
Ooh,
Pikachu
this
tail right
Pikachu
now?
tail.
I'd probably pre-order.
I'm sure it'll be on eBay in like 3
Probably
minutes.
pre-order.
It's on eBay now. I bet you.
It's the
Yeah.
it's
It's
sort
a
of the
shapeless
holiday
yellow
of
thing.
pre-orders.
We'll figure it out.
Well, that's the news for this week,
That's
everyone.
the news.
Not our
no.
best.
Not our best.
Now it's time for our final hot
That's
takes
right.
of the year, everyone.
Oh,
Guys, this is the best and worst thing that we found in the new anime this week. So yeah.
So my hot take of the week is that I thought the last episode of my
MMO Junkie.
MMO Junkie was last week, but they had an Omake episode, like an extra episode this
Mhm.
week, and it was adorable. It's a little extra episode where the main character, whose name is escaping right now, I'm real
Mori
tired.
Mori.
Yeah, Mori Mori has to go and like save Sakura-san in the game, and it's real good. It's real good, and it's very cute and extra. So I'm very happy they did that because it was a really short season.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, go watch it now, or else you don't like anime.
My hot take for the week is I started watching the Erased drama, and it's
that's
really
the
good.
best.
Live action.
But
drama.
yeah, the live action drama, and it's really good. I don't like it as much as the anime. And I think that some of that is because there is sort of that supernatural element to it that I just feel is so nice with the way that the series is animated. And also there's some really difficult stuff in there. If you guys are familiar with Erased, there's some child abuse and neglect and stuff that's difficult to watch with real children. But I have to say, the little kid who plays young Satoru, give him all the awards, cast him in everything. That kid is on the money because he has a very, very difficult role of playing a child who is actually an adult because he's traveled back in time and he still has all of his adult experiences and memories in his brain, even though he's back in his child body. And he does such a good job of playing that and just exhibiting this incredible level of empathy that this kid has that like a little kid is not capable of. He's unfreaking believable. So it's totally worth watching just for that kid.
That's awesome.
Yay.
Yay.
Daniel Radcliffe of our generation.
Yes.
All right.
Guys, my hot take for this week is actually a video game related thing because I got lost in Legend of Zelda DLC, y'all. If you haven't played it, straight up, I literally just, that's all I did this week. And I finally beat it 2 days ago. And I gotta say, I did not see that final boss coming, and that's all I'll say. And I thought it was so perfect.
Did you
so perfect?
Did you get the motorcycle then?
I did. I did, and I just been.
Did you get the Sonic motorcycle?
I did. I just been bombing like mountains like an idiot, just like I can do it. And just
I'm really excited
tackling these
to
mountains.
do that sometime over this Christmas break.
Yeah, it's real good, guys. That DLC is. Oh, you get some great cutscenes, and that final boss is amazing.
And to hello, Jamie, saying I must find this live action Erased. It's very easy to find. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
A regular Netflix.
Just
So if
regular
you
old
want some
Netflix.
Not illegal Netflix.
Fun holiday streaming for the whole family.
Some lighthearted, child-friendly streaming.
Probably don't like
Watch it with
Uplifting
all
holiday
your loved
tales.
ones.
This is not the thing to introduce your parents into what anime might be.
Just curl around the campfire, get some hot chocolate, some marshmallows.
All right. You may.
My hot take this week is because I am so hyped for Cardcaptor Sakura and the clear card. I basically have binge watched all of the original Cardcaptor Sakura, and
Nice.
it is available on Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
both in subbed and dub. And man, does it hold up?
I've been
Yay.
rereading the manga and I feel
it
the
just-
exact freaking same way. It's so good.
I am like vibrating with excitement for the new Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, it starts January 18th, 8th.
I
One of
think
those.
it's like
One of
second
those.
week. Second week of January.
The one
Yay.
thing that I am sad about is like the animation in Cardcaptor Sakura is so good. Like the
In the OG,
original-
yeah,
in
it's
the OG.
Yeah.
Madhouse.
And it just you know,
Madhouse.
like just watching all the new promotional stuff,
Yeah.
it loses a little something because it is so digital.
Mm.
But
true.
you
Yeah.
know, like it still looks very.
Hey,
gorgeous.
these are hot takes. What's yours?
Oh, I have a hot
Max always
take.
gets off topic.
It's,
Shell got sassed
so we
today.
we just gotta show the video. I'm not
Max
gonna say.
friendly
I'm
is
not
easy.
gonna
Because
say
Max
anything,
always
but
has a
this is-
goddamn video.
I hope it's a video of someone spooning that Pikachu, tail.
No.
No, it's not. It's not a
Is this
bit.
Ryan Reynolds related?
It's
You
not
guys
a
mean
bit.
just a
Big
video of
ass
Ryan Reynolds?
Pikachu tail.
Look, I love how everyone speculates like it's some big joke that every time I do something, it's
Oh,
some
God.
huge.
I don't know
Okay, what is
No, this
this?
is already.
Oh no, Max, what is this?
Are we watching all of it? Okay, let's
It's like a minute.
All right, Trapcoon.
今日は
That says
転
Koro
校
Koro
生を
Koko.
紹介します。
Mhm. Oh boy.
You want to hear
そ
this?
れで
Are we
は
just-
入ってきなさい。
Is it Detective Pikachu Ryan Reynolds?
No, this
No.
is
Oh
Oh,
Max, what are you making us watch?
This way.
All right, can you please explain what this is? Maxwell song, go.
It's just like this random animation that I found while I was looking through.
All right, I'm done. This is
It's
we're
just,
finished
it's
here.
basically,
No.
it's
Please
like.
don't put turn.
Max, I can't.
Basically,
Max, what the hell?
You signed him out of
President
Google.
rapping.
Oh my God.
I just felt like, you know, everyone needed to see that happen.
Did you Google anything about why this exists? or
No,
who it's
this was
by?
a real thing. This is a
Okay.
Japanese animation. This is a
Right.
Japanese short. Like,
Okay.
I'm not, like,
No, but who's
messing
it?
around.
Who's it by? Like, why did they? Make
Oh, I have no clue. I mean, I basically just watched it. I was like, this is enough.
Well, in a
Um,
more positive note, thank you, Stella Chu, for the raid. Thank you for raiding us.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone who
Oh,
came
shit.
over from Stella's channel.
Wow. Yeah, thanks so much,
You're
Stella.
welcome.
Oh my God.
Because we're talking,
my
you guys,
God, Max.
we're talking
Oh
about
my
butts.
God.
Not the right kind of
what a
butts.
good one. It's like, you know, it's a joke. That's all, you know, it's our president.
Guys, that's our hot
All
take.
right, hot
song.
take.
It's over.
Hot
That's the
take.
last one of the year. Throw it in the garbage.
Max is going all out.
Thank you.
I guess.
Going on
Goodbye,
high.
2017. We hate you.
Look,
Well,
I'm soaring into the sun. All right, I'm gonna burn up. It's
Can we
gonna be
please,
magical.
please let us move on.
all right, we're moving
Come
on,
on,
guys. It's time for our final next time on.
Look, someone made that in Japan.
That
It
is
will
like
work.
trying to come back from the dead
Okay,
right
Matt
now.
can't even recover, Matt.
Oh,
Good.
okay,
It's,
what's the
look, it had
hottest take?
impact. That's what matters.
Guys, we're continuing our review of two series, Ancient Magus Bride and Food
I
Wars.
shouldn't have pulled this out.
Mhm.
This one was Food Wars episode 12. I can't remember the name. The name was something like
It was like reach the summit or
Oh
like,
my
like
God.
yeah, like there
To
was
the
a
summit.
mountain and they reached. So this was the last episode of the season, right?
Yes,
It looked like it.
See, I mean, the cliffhanger they ended on felt very season end.
They had a
cliffhanger,
special
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah, they did.
Like they clipped the
That's
ending
right. They
song.
sure did. And that ending song is dope, by the way.
It's,
Yeah.
oh, I'm very excited.
Okay.
Oh, dude. Oh, I can't wait.
We'll talk about more.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
talk
talk
about it
about it later.
But guys, this episode was saw the unofficial Shokugeki between Soma and
But,
Atsushi.
Asushi.
but don't worry, it didn't.
It didn't matter anyway.
So why did we watch it? That was very confusing. Like, hey,
Because Michelle, the bomb got dropped at the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
It did.
right.
Yeah.
Or-
Also-
the bomb that I dropped was the stupidest bomb, by the way. I was literally
It was
looking
like,
at
if
TV
this
like
bomb has been like 3 seasons in the
this-
making.
It's
this
very
bomb-
true.
And
Yeah,
like
true.
half the characters already knew it already. They're like, yeah, that's his dad.
Well, the point of the whole episode was to show what the mountain that he had
Mhm.
to climb.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I
Alright.
have no facts on this one.
But it gave him
Right.
like more hope because he thought he was like some unattainable god.
Uh-huh.
And really,
Yeah.
he's only a slightly unattainable god.
Yes.
Uh-huh,
So-
uh-huh.
He's definitely
Yeah,
reachable.
I just like how everybody well, spoilers, guys. Everybody's just like, oh man, Anita's like, I'm in love with this guy who really influenced my life, and
Who
then
definitely looks like your
Azami
dad.
is like, I had this senpai who definitely looks exactly like Soma, and
Yeah.
then someone's like, that's my dad. They're all shocked, like,
excuse
I didn't
me.
think he got to this school.
But then, like, half of them are like, yeah, look, there's a picture of him who he
Yeah.
visited, and it's definitely his dad, and we
Yeah.
all knew that, except
I don't
for
know.
the 2 main characters didn't know.
I really
Also,
like
I
it.
was still delighted by the
Yeah,
revelation.
I really
too.
liked it.
Listen, I 100% called it as they were going through it. I was like, "Aw, it's his dad,"
Yeah.
and it was, and I was satisfied.
I think it was just like a funny reveal. Like,
Yeah.
the audience is like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
now.
I was like, I liked it because we've been waiting 3 seasons for
Yeah.
Elena to find out that Soma is
Mhm.
that Joichiro is Soma's
Soma's dad,
yeah.
And I just love that. I just really thought it was like
It's a
a
good
really
reveal.
good moment, and it to kind of go with Max saying like it does show not only for it's like this glimmering light for both Soma and for Elena though, like that there is like a possibility to like defeat
Sure.
her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And probably become friends
why
with him,
is
'cause that's
his dad-
what
why is
Soma
his
does,
dad's
you know?
name different than his name? I can't remember.
Nakamura.
His real name? They said his
Azami?
real name.
Or
Azami is his last name.
Like his name's not the same as.
Yeah, it's not
Soma's.
the same.
Nagiri is the
No, not Nikita.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
no,
about,
no.
Soma's dad.
Soma's dad.
Soma's
Joichiro.
I don't-
Joichiro.
I don't think
His
they
last
explained
name
that
is
in
like
the anime.
something.
Yeah, I'm
or
not
something.
sure that they've explained it.
the reason his name is different is because he there's
Spoiler?
backstory. There's
Oh,
backstory.
never mind. We
Yeah.
don't
Okay,
care.
okay,
All right,
okay,
it's
okay.
just
That's what I'm
different.
saying.
So,
It's
but-
manga
okay,
backstory.
And that's why no one
so
knew.
If you think about it, it's like in the beginnings, you're wondering like, oh, he's just a diner chef. How did he become such a great chef? Like, and then you find out that he's the first year, and so you kind of, it's not strange that it's all actually interconnected.
Oh, his name is
You know.
Saiba Joichiro.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
I liked it.
It was a good episode. It was the last one of the season.
Is it actually? I thought we were getting
Yeah.
24 episodes though.
Well, it felt like a good middle-y.
It-
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
yeah.
definitely the middle-iest
Okay.
of middle ones. Because
Yeah,
when,
right,
when
right.
they have that ending where they cut the music out, you're like, oh, this
Oh,
is
this
like
is
a
like-
good season reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever they like
Yeah.
sing shit with people's movements and they show like, I was like, wait, this is
So wait,
Good
is
lord.
it coming back in
I think so.
January?
I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
think this
sure.
is like
A
the
little
middle-y
bit.
end,
Yeah.
and there'll be a
Alright.
couple weeks break, and then
Which
it'll
means a
be
new
back.
opening.
Yeah,
With
I'm
a new
very,
opening.
I'm very excited for another new opening. I usually enjoy this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
but so far I love this first half of the season.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it too. It's been really strong and fun, and just everything that's great about Shokugeki. It just
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
the
they
squad,
just
man.
keep turning it up.
Yeah.
And-
you know, when they
and,
cut through that meat though, like, oh,
Oh,
man, what a
mm,
good-
I
really-
what a
I would like to
good
tell you that
scene.
I watched this episode while I was eating the steak that I had prepared from HelloFresh,
Mhm.
and I felt pretty good about myself.
I
But
watched it while eating leftover prime rib from my.
Oh.
Oh, I watched it while eating Cheerios.
Yeah.
I watched it while eating Greek food. What did you watch? What did you eat while watching it?
Actually, I think I was eating half of a Laffy Taffy from yesterday.
Wow, that's sad, Max.
What the hell?
The boys in this group are just rough. All right, guys. Moving on.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't have a fancy steak. We don't have fancy steaks or like 2 fireplaces. You know what I mean? It's not my fault.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Too many fireplaces.
Someone says Jabberwocky says it's taking a break till April, Food Wars. So we'll be back in
okay.
April.
Yeah.
We'll be back in April, which
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, guys. Can't wait.
Thanks, Rocky, for letting us know. And now we are moving on to the Ancient Magus Bride. It's like the wrong intro for what
Yeah,
it's
it
doing.
Yeah,
really
it's definitely
is.
super appropriate for this show.
Not
Oh,
appropriate
Ancient
for
Magus
this show.
Very fairy tale-esque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such fantasy.
So this is episode 11, Lovers Ever Run Before the Clock. Is that right?
Yep.
11? Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
This is there. I might have fucked that up, but whatever, guys. It was the latest one, and it was really, really cute.
It was
a lot of-
it was so cute.
I feel like the animators just having a fucking field day. They're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna animate some magic today.
Yeah.
And use all of our animation abilities. Like, it's so
Because it was
cute.
all about like Chisei learning more about Elias's past and then making
He's so
her
cute when he's
wand.
little.
And
Yeah.
this, I have to tell you that it, when you first go into the series, it seems really weird because he buys her out of slavery with the intention to have her be his apprentice and eventually like
Slash bride.
marry her.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
at first that feels really weird, but they handle it so delicately and wonderfully that at this point I'm like, no, I like kind of buy this love story that's
Yeah.
building between
Yeah.
them, and I'm really on board with it.
yeah.
I just want them to be in love.
in that moment where, and like, I this might get a little personal, but like, I felt connected because like when they're talking in the pond to each other, Elias and
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
such a good scene.
Yeah, and he's
In the
like,
water.
yeah, and he's like, it's like even with like all the heat on, like it's so cold here without you. I'm like,
Ah.
I miss my girlfriend.
His girlfriend
Oh,
is so
no.
far away.
It
There, Maddie.
was so sweet.
It
It
was
hit me
a
in the
very good
feels.
episode.
Yeah.
I think it was really pretty. I think like I was kind of watching it while I was also like finishing notes and stuff, but like the scene for me was like the elves. I feel like a lot of times when you see elves in anime, they're either like moe or like kind of a weird trope from video games, and I feel like the elves in this scene are very, very much more like a traditional Celtic or like a Norse.
Yeah,
elf.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing that I enjoy. Like even when Lindell was explaining to her the differences between all the wood that you could use to make your
Mhm.
wand out of, like that is all actually based
Yeah.
on real like Celtic tree mythology.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
the way that they incorporate that kind of it's a kind of
Like they've taken a lot of care to kind of read
Yeah.
the mythology of like high fantasy.
Yes,
It's-
exactly.
it's-
It's that lore, though.
And which is
That
like
lore.
something that has always attracted me from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Even in the OVA, like the
Because it
different
feels
regions
deeper than
and
just an anime.
It does.
Yeah.
It also feels different than the usual stuff because
Yeah.
you've been so bombarded by this European kind of like Harry Potter-esque fantasy or like Lord of the Rings fantasy, which then you realize that there's a totally another subset of European, I guess, fantasy that like people rarely touch, rarely,
Yeah.
Hasn't
and do
turned to a
very
famous
well.
franchise yet.
And I mean things like the King Arthur legends have a little bit of this kind of
Mhm.
sort of mythology in them, but it is really nice to see it really fully explored in
Yeah.
this really beautifully animated anime series.
And you know, like as you go on and it's, you know, reading the manga and stuff, like there's a lot of other stuff that
Yeah.
starts to like that they throw in. So whatever your flavor is, there's always some sort of like magic
Yeah.
involved,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which it's
Yeah.
it's just like wow, what a beautiful developed world that they've made for, you know, like I guess a complicated premise, but for the most part, like also pretty simple.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Great.
definitely.
Yeah, so HM Magus Bride, episode 11. Very good. You guys should watch it. C Gibson Rex was asking about, like, you guys should talk about old school stuff like Outlaw Star. We did an episode on that already.
Yeah,
Just
we
You
did.
can find it on
Go to
YouTube.
YouTube
You
and
can
look
find
back
it on
a bunch.
YouTube.
We did
Actually,
that
if you
as
think about it, we 80% talk about
Yeah.
old stuff.
Yeah, we tried, like, we put
talk about
a
a lot of
try to talk about new
nostalgia.
shit.
Because we
y'all.
old.
We gonna get into some nostalgia in just a little bit here.
Get ready.
Oh yeah,
Ready.
guys. Because now it's time for our best of 2017.
Oh,
We broke it down to different sections, guys.
Christmas.
Ooh, Happy New Year. Guys, we broke it down to different sections. The first one we're going to talk about is the best anime openings of 2017, in my opinion.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Get ready to rumble.
Remember, this is all opinion based.
This is all opinion
That
based.
is the thing, guys,
Exactly.
is as we stress a lot on this show, anime is a medium. It is not a genre. So obviously we are particular to certain genres and we are very much sharing our own opinions. I am sure that many of you disagree with us. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
We're all different people who make up a big, beautiful
And
planet.
straight up,
we are a tapestry of variety
Each
and
one of us
unique
is a thread
specialnesses.
in that
That's
tapestry.
true. That's actually very
Stroke,
true.
A nice stroke.
Yeah.
and like honestly, with like openings in particular, I can talk about them, all of them, for a long time. But there's so many, and I had to
Only
limit
an
it to
hour-long
5.
show.
So let's do it. So let's do it, guys. My first one is the Inuyashiki opening, My Hero by Man with a Mission. This isn't the actual like cinematic, but you get some clips of it and of the opening from in here. But you get the song is so good, man. Oh my gosh, I think
all this music. Here we go.
Here it comes, here we
Man
go.
with the mission.
Yeah.
Inuyashiki. Okay. I took a turn.
Lucas, can we bump that up a little bit?
Oh my God.
Can we bump that up?
Can't.
Lucas is just
take it
texting.
Naeem.
Probably can't bump it up. Okay. Do better, Matt.
Those who are
Cool.
unfamiliar with Man with Mission, yes, they always perform with wolf heads.
Yeah,
Cool,
that's probably it.
They always perform with wolf heads, yeah.
Awesome.
So
They have like a whole lore. They're like a concept band.
Okay, so this is the opening for
Yeah.
Inuyashiki.
Yeah.
What do you mean they have a
And-
whole concept?
Like there's a story. They're like aliens and we're gifted like these wolf powers or something like that. It's so totally on the
Oh,
which I read. It's
Get
a
the
concept
full
band.
explanation. They're a high
amazing. I
concept
love that.
band.
Yeah.
I love that so
But I
much.
think the theme song is like it just kind of like summarizes the show really well. And if you look at the opening cinematics, like it's the conflicts between the two main characters is just like it shows the struggle because he comes in and he's this fucking like he's given up on his whole life. He has no purpose at all. And he finally gets his gift and he's able to use it to help. But the other character who's the nemesis,
Oh, I'm a robot.
he uses it just for such pure evil, like the purest of evil. I think this like theme song is so in your face and it's like like it just captures the series really well.
I'm not familiar because I'm still on my strike against Anime Strike.
Wow. Potato.
I mean,
All right. Oh, I got bumped.
There
There we
it
go.
is.
There we go. Now I got it.
Oh,
I love
man.
this series, but I hate the opening.
You hate the opening?
It's a
Oh,
little
man.
too
I
edgelord even for
haven't
me.
watched it yet, but I'll get to it at some point. In
All right.
Amazon
All right.
Prime.
Moving on.
My next one is the Recreators opening
Yeah.
from Spring. It's so good. I couldn't find the full the actual like cinematics because
Okay,
they take
we
out
can
all the
just jam
cinematics.
out
We can just
to
jam
this
out,
one.
Do
dude.
it
Yeah.
quietly.
There's a lot of good opening songs that maybe the animation doesn't match up with, but usually it does. But that's okay.
Matt tends
Yeah.
to
This
like
This is
super
this is the
jam
one that
jams.
I
He really
believe
does
it
like
matches
Jim
up.
Jam songs.
the old Jim Jams.
You gotta do it.
I definitely think I got a feel for
Habanero.
Matt's taste in music. from
Yo,
this.
if you can't, well, okay, look, hear me out. There's nothing that gets me like more excited and more in the mood than these kinds of openings, y'all.
I just love how his voice got like three tones deeper.
Yeah, talk about how into it he was. Uzumaki, we were talking about Anime Strike is the service that Amazon has that is a separate service you purchase through Amazon Prime to watch anime.
Yes.
They have
With an
specific-
additional what, like
$5 a
$5
month
or
something? Yeah.
something?
That, yeah.
So you got to throw 5 more bones to Amazon
Amazon
Prime,
Prime.
which is already
That
like
you're
12
already
bones.
Exactly.
paying
So that is what
money
Anime
for.
Strike is.
Yeah.
So Google
Yeah.
it. We're
Well-
not. They're not giving us money to talk about them, so we're
I-
gonna stop.
That's my
You don't
fourth
eat
opening.
pheasants
Okay.
for breakfast.
All right,
one
this
is
one
great.
is you can consider it a Jim Jam, but
That's weird.
it starts off a little weird.
it's-
But,
I
but
love
I
it.
love it. Here's why I put this on here too, is because this kind of like summarizes the conflict between Chise and oh my god,
Elias?
Elias, thank you,
Elias, yeah.
Elias. Like it's like the opening, especially with the cinematics,
Yeah.
it shows the struggle. Like she's in nothingness. She is by herself. She is alone, segregated. And when the music, like this, kind of shows
I'm
that.
sorry, is this like
I think
is
this
this
sounds
a course
very
in
pretty.
music? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is a music
think we
theory
lost
course.
that. The Matt
I
zone.
studied music in college. It was like part of my major.
Oh,
so
someone spent money
Do
on
we
it.
need to go
man.
into like a Napoleon Dynamite, like
Fine.
figurative dance thing?
That's
Like-
fine.
Oh, I love this opening
Yeah.
song. I
It's
really
really
do.
good.
I completely agree with your analysis as well,
Yeah.
Matt. And this song gets stuck in my head all the time. So this is my vote for number one.
I would say
I like the ending as
the
well a lot.
opening
Yeah,
too.
the ending's great.
The opening
Sticks in
too
my
is
head.
like a really really good at like it gives you a good feeling of like what the series
series is about.
encapsulates.
I think
You know,
it's
so
It's my favorite part of the song.
adventure, but fantasy.
Everyone
a
loves
good,
a good
but this is
challenge.
a good opening has the components of like really hooking you, and then also giving you a good summary, and also the potential of like how good the animation can get.
Right.
So an
And-
opening is super important.
Exactly, especially with this, because like she's by herself, but when they start picking up like that, that's the dance between them. That's them accepting each other.
I would like
You know what I mean?
I would like to point out that we're looking at fan art. This is not even like
I know. Where did you find
It's not a
these?
big-
I could just YouTube, but they don't have the official
we
video.
All
should
right,
be
all right.
putting this on anyway. But
Oh, Michelle.
number 2.
Number 2 is the Shokugeki opening. I think this is the actual opening too.
Opening 4.
Yes.
Yeah, opening 4. Yeah.
It is pretty good. Now we're back to like the Matt Jim Jams.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah. But I
like
think,
real fast guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I
It's
just,
very quintessential shonen
Wait, I'm
anime
sorry. We have to
opening.
get an ambulance. Michelle is having a seizure. over there.
I'm like very slow guitar.
Like her face was contorting in a way that it shouldn't
On
be
a guitar
possible.
that just sits on your clavicle. Like,
I just think that this opening is like the show. You know, it feels like the show to me. Like it's the one that like that just feels like it's fucking food. It's sexy. It's cool.
It's like intense.
It's intense.
yeah.
Like
We got memories.
yeah.
Trades. We got fire and kung fu. We got lions.
Lions, even though we're people that are
We got
not lions.
bowing.
Oh my god. I
We
get
got
so
the moon. We got fireballs.
Oh, so fun. All right, our last one, guys. Our last one.
no one is surprised by what Matt's top choice
Yo,
is.
okay, it's a little biased, but I got a reason. And it's Peace Sign, the second My Hero Academia opening, y'all.
Yeah. Let's clap
Everyone, can you say
this.
this is Matt's
This
structure?
list is very, very Matt.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Naeem. All right.
Naeem's crying in the
Naeem
background right
is
now.
so
He's like, you're not going Dragon Ball. My name's Naeem. I love Dragon Ball.
He does love Dragon Ball. But I will say that I don't know, this song just makes me feel so happy and inspired, and it makes you feel like Deku. It makes you feel like you can inspire to be whatever you want to be, and that's why I love this theme song so
also,
freaking
I like
much.
the
Look at
next
this
opening
animation.
better than
Look
this
how
one.
beautiful
What?
it is.
I like the third opening better.
Oh.
Not this one's bad, but I just
No, this
I
one's-
like the third one better.
Yeah, this one's good, but I agree.
Yeah.
I think I just like the song better too.
Music's got by Jock Jams, y'all.
There you go. Reminds
There you
me.
go,
This has
guys.
been Jock Jams with Matt Acevedo.
There it is. There it is, guys. I have some honorable mentions. Of course, I did put the Dragon Ball Super on there because that was the first one ever, I think, that summons up Dragon Ball like as a franchise. It actually feels like Dragon Ball to me. And the Boruto theme song, I put that as an honorable mention because it's just like
It's good.
it's a good shonen opening.
It's a good
Very
show
cute.
opening, but
Yeah.
it's also, J-Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're all J-Rock, but
I mean,
it's
no
like
different than
though.
what Matt
Well,
also
but-
listed.
Yeah. I think the difference is like, it's just like Naruto. It has such a long history, and it's just like another J-Rock song to them running is like kind
How
of a.
dare you,
But it's
Matt?
cute because they're
I
like,
know how
dare
much I
you.
love the Naruto, but you gotta admit
The
they have history.
Naruto.
All right.
And
All right.
then just real one last thing is I thought the ending
going.
the ending to Shokugeki was just real good, y'all. Like
Yeah,
real
the ending
good.
of Shokugeki is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We all agree.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Tight.
Moving on.
All right, guys, that was 10. That was Matt's tight 10 of
Yeah, dude.
music for the 2017.
Height
Woo,
17.
yeah.
Hey, my section is not that exciting. Where the fuck is my thing? I actually made a little joke section because I couldn't think of anything very good. The year of 2017 has taught us all about things we never thought about. The most niche anime of 2017. Here we go.
Here we
Ba,
go.
ba, 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 ba. I just
Yeah.
put them all in one image because that's how I fucking roll. I
Yeah.
listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Whatever, guys. First, we're gonna talk about fastest finger first. That's right. Quiz shows. We learned about quiz shows in real detail, and I only really watched like 3 episodes of that, but it was cute. And
Yeah,
I learned some
it's
shit,
better.
and that was
Yeah,
a good
it's
one.
fine.
And something about putting the word finger in your title. It just gives me
fastest finger
gives me a
first.
good giggle.
Terrible title.
gives me a good giggle.
It's like a bad surprise.
Sakura Quest was really cute. Actually,
It is really
it's a very
cute.
cute.
I think they gave it like 2 seasons. Like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you guys, it's on Crunchyroll still. Both
Yep.
of these are, and it's
Yeah, it's
really
on
pretty.
Funimation now also.
Yeah,
If you want to watch
it's
it
really
streaming.
pretty animation, and I really dig it. It's about it's the slice of life you're getting here is what it's like to be an idol for a small town. So you help promote the town by just being an Idol.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's great. Good job, Sakura Quest. March Comes Like a Lion is my favorite. I've been talking about it all year. They do the main character plays shogi. He's a professional shogi player, even though he's a teenager. And the art is beautiful. The music's beautiful. The animation's great. The OP and ED, very good. But you guys should watch that one if you haven't been. I promise I'll stop talking about it one day. Another weird one that came out, which we never talked about on the show ever, was
The
Two
sidecar?
Car.
Yeah, dude. I've actually seen a couple episodes of these. They're pretty interesting.
It's about sidecar racing.
I mean, there's no like particular arc, which is kind of what bothers me. There's not really a story.
It doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah,
That's
but
my
the
problem.
sidecar part, like, so basically the formula is like, it's about the partners. It's about, so there's like friends, and there's ones where it's like they're twins, like two twin sisters, and they just have this story of like, what it is to be like sidecar except it doesn't go anywhere, and it just like is like a character vignette every episode. But they have some really cool 2-car animations, and if anyone has seen Oh My Goddess ever,
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh My Goddess was like, their motor club had a lot of sidecar, and Belle Dandy was the second leaner car person. And so it was really nice to see that again, because that's kind of one of those really interesting sports that like deserves some sort of
People don't talk about
attention.
it. And now it has its own anime that has no plot. And guys, the last one we got to tackle for 2017 is Welcome to the Ballroom.
Yeah.
This son of a bitch. Okay, this anime kind of makes me mad because it was supposed to be like the biggest, like the breakout one of this year.
Yeah.
And then, first of all, Anime Strike got it.
Anime
so
Strike.
Amazon was like, you shall not watch this.
Anime
ever.
Strike, they just have this really good way of like making it impossible to watch their series.
I think the problem is that like Anime Strike like is getting licenses for these really good anime.
Yeah.
Well,
But now they're not being seen.
The paywall is very high.
It's so high.
It's really almost unattainable.
And we've talked about it, guys. We've talked about it.
We talked about it.
I wasn't going to tackle that actually, but I was
Yeah.
going to say that Welcome to the Ballroom across the board. The reviews for the ending of the season have been pretty rough.
Yeah.
People are not happy with the way the female characters have been written. The story, the arcs are just everyone's a shithole. Everyone's just really mean to each other, and no one's redeemable. All the females just hate each other for the reason that they're another female. That's So I'm like, great, good job.
It's a lot of like female on female hate.
But guys, those are your.
I know, Michelle. Can you tell me if you like anime or not?
I love anime. Apparently, I only like anime with shogi. But these are the anime that I think I really love slice of life anime for the fact that you do get a glimpse into like weird shit that you would never ever even think of, like the one about like Hana, the Furuya, the card one, the.
Chihaya Furu.
Chihaya Furu. Like stuff like that. Like I would have never known this sport thing existed if I wasn't for anime. Thanks, anime.
Yeah.
Teaching things I didn't know about.
Exactly. So my section was actually Breakout series of 2017.
Which I feel like is unfair. We should have all done that together. This is okay. Best anime. This is guys.
You don't understand. This is a totally different and non-related to my best anime of must-see anime.
What's wrong with you two people?
However, I will say mine is not based on personal opinion. I did some actual research and based it on
It's true.
reviews.
She really does have stats.
Okay,
I got
It's true.
stats.
She
Here's
does
the
have
stats
stats.
one.
Despite the best efforts of being continuously buried by the continuing series or being a cursed anime strike or caught in the Netflix purgatory, these are series that amassed really huge followings and like really like rabid fans. So first one, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This was rated 4.7 out of 5 on Crunchyroll. Nobody saw this coming. It is one of the most cosplayed like animes of 2017.
It's also one of the most beautifully animated.
It
is really, really cute.
It was a very refreshing harem series based on relationships mostly revolving around women, especially a working woman, whereas it's usually revolved around like girls with big tits and a dude.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't girls, dragon girls with big tits, but
But that was like one of the very earliest, because that was winter of 2017.
Remember those Halcyon you got days, guys? Like the beginning of 2017.
Yeah.
So we're all like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
So bright-eyed.
Oh, boy.
We're at the end of 2017. We're just like, burn it. 2017, burn it.
So the next one is Made in Abyss, which is a series that I have not personally
I haven't
watched.
seen it either.
But it was also trapped to Anime Strike.
Anime
The
Strike.
rating for it
Yeah.
on Anime Strike is 4.9 out of 5.
Damn.
Anime
Yeah.
News
Those 5 people
gives it
fucking
like
loved
a
it.
9. It's so
Yeah.
high on Anime News
Wow.
Network.
Okay.
And it's
It-
getting a second season
It is.
too.
They
Yeah.
got it immediately, like in
Yeah.
the middle of the
Yes.
season.
Not only that, but literally almost every site that reports on anime has called this one of the best series of 2017. And yet, like, I haven't seen it. Most of us haven't watched
Yeah.
it. I looked just up the hashtag on Twitter. So many people love this anime that
Yeah.
I now have to watch it.
Yeah.
But
Set
it
it
is,
free, Anime Strike.
I know, set it free.
I love how
free
Anime
trial.
Strike
Come
became
on.
like this weird concentration
know.
camp of anime. It's just like, where did they
2017,
go?
we hate Anime
They
Strike.
just disappear.
But it's very beautifully animated. A lot of like you could tell just from the screen caps that I looked at on Google, like so much of the work went into the backgrounds and all of the quality is just up there. It's mostly about a young girl who befriends like a humanoid robot and descends into this giant hole called the Abyss in search and she wants to be like her mother who is like a cave raider. But the dark twist is that once you go down this abyss, you can't come up because when you come up, you get this disease that'll kill you. So it takes a very dark turn. So number 3 on my list is Kakegurui,
Yeah,
Kakegurui.
that's so good.
which has an 8 out of 10 rating on Anime News Network and is trapped in Netflix purgatory. Netflix will be releasing it
I
in
know.
2018.
They wait for everything. They wait for it all to be out,
Because
and then they
didn't
subtitle
I feel
it.
like this
Yeah.
one
And release
was on Crunchyroll for a hot second.
It was.
Okay.
For a second.
It was
I'm
on
not
a very
crazy.
hot second.
Yeah, I
and
was
then
like,
it
'cause I
got pulled
watched
off
an
How does
episode
that
of
license
it.
work? They're like, you're allowed to have it for
So,
2 days.
Time's up.
I think it was a takeover.
Give
more
us
like.
$10,
So
please.
yeah,
Thank you.
so having worked on like a licensing end, it usually has to do with how much money is on the table, and I'm pretty sure that Netflix paid a pretty penny for this.
Netflix got the
because-
money.
Yep.
They got the money, dude.
They got the power.
It is. It
got
is
them
very,
dollars.
very adult themed, and it is very beautifully animated. I think it
The
is
premise
definitely
is amazing,
yeah.
too.
It's definitely one of like maybe the 2 seinen kind of like older guy series
Yeah.
that were really good. Inuyashiki being the other one.
Yeah.
But
I was
it's
laughing
coming
at
out in
chat, sorry.
2018 for Netflix. If you guys
Yay.
haven't seen it yet,
We all make it
Yeah.
2018. You can watch
we
it.
make it there.
I don't
A
think
few
we
more
will.
weeks.
So number
Maybe.
2
Maybe.
is number 2 was Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Yay.
So that was
We
another
can
one.
watch that one.
Another one that was a breakout. It is 4.8 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, one of the most successfully received webcomic adaptations of 2017.
Watch
It's a
it.
webcomic.
Yeah, it's a webcomic.
Wait, is this Korean webcomic or
Nope,
Japanese?
It's Japanese.
webcomic?
It's available on the Comico app.
Oh, okay.
Come on, go.
But this is kind of the trend that is happening in anime where they're starting to test webcomic development into anime series, and this is one of the first successful ones.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that people thought it was going to be as well received. It is specifically well received in the West. And a lot of it from articles that I read are kind of like why I like it. It's because so many of us in the West have played MMOs, and there's like a huge kind of love for relationships being
All our
built
friends
through
are from the
MMO.
internet, just like
That's
this
true.
girl.
No word if they're getting any sort of season 2, but I hope so.
Yeah,
It's a really cute show.
So number 1 for me is Inuyashiki.
Yeah.
That has an 8 out of 10 rating on Anime News
Remember
Network.
when Matt talked about for like 3 hours? That was
Yeah,
great.
he
That was
did.
great.
Was it 3 hours? My bad.
It was
It
3
was, it was a
hours.
great opening,
It
y'all.
was
But-
so long.
This is again, this is another series that's trapped on Anime Strike. And on Anime Strike, it has 5 out of 5 star ratings.
Dang.
By the same author as Gantz. I've talked about this plenty this year. It's very violent, complex ideas about morality. The main protagonist is an elderly man who's kind of pathetic and neglected and ignored by his family, and learns how to cope with a fatal disease. He gets like him and the antagonist both get robotic bodies, and they kind of take different roles. A lot of the comparisons have been made to Death Note because of the fact that Hiro, the antagonist in this, does not come out of it as a hero, even though he's like a popular guy who's smart and well liked. He ends up being like a sociopathic serial killer.
Yeah, real dark.
Real dark.
But
dude.
yes, it is very popular, but so many of them have been regulated to
Cool.
Anime Strike that
Mm.
So those are the breakouts of
Yep.
2017.
Yeah.
All hidden
Yeah.
amongst
Alright.
the
Honorable
Amazon
mentions I
paywall.
did have-
Welcome to our future.
honorable mentions were mostly because they already had like a huge hype train. Was Little Witch Academia.
Yep.
Ancient Magnus Bride because it just
Had
had
a,
so
had a
much hype
prequel
behind it.
season 2 also.
Yeah.
yes, those are my honorable mentions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So my topic is best classic. And by classic, I mean just not released this year anime series
Kinda
that were
old.
added to a streaming service this year. Now, there's going to be a lot of overlap in this because, again, it all has to do with licensing. Licensing is very, very complicated with anime.
Yeah.
So sometimes things will live on one streaming service and then another streaming service doesn't get it. So a lot of these are ones that were added to streaming services that are not Funimation or not Crunchyroll, that maybe people who don't have every single streaming service on the planet like I do would be able to enjoy for the first time on something that they already subscribe to. So we are going to start with Crunchyroll, though, and this is actually a carryover that was added very recently from Funimation, which is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
If you guys have never seen Yu Yu Hakusho, this is
so good.
just such a
It's
good
so weird.
series.
I love it so much.
It's so freaking good.
It's,
It's based on the manga by Yoshihiro Togashi, who is married to Naoko Takeuchi, who wrote Sailor Moon.
And he's back writing. His back's better.
Yep, and also writes Hunter x Hunter.
So good. Love that.
But
There's a lot of there's like little like Easter eggs
Yeah.
in Hunter x Hunter. If you can see like little Sailor Moon things. It's
yeah,
very
it's
cool.
really, really great. And the thing that's so good about this series, and that I connected with it so much more than something necessarily like a Dragon Ball as a teenager, as a kid, is because the characters in the show are just so freaking endearing. And it also, even though it is a very shonen anime, and it is a fighting anime, even though it's supposed to be sort of a supernatural detective series, there are still certainly elements of that. But
they just drop that part like
they drop it pretty fast.
Yeah.
But the thing
like after
is
the first season.
it's not overly predictable, and it was an early series to kind of subvert some shonen tropes, and the ending is so good.
Yeah.
The ending of the series is unbelievable. So it is all on Crunchyroll now. So you can watch it. I know that it was on Hulu earlier this year as well, and it was always on Funimation. It's been on Funimation now for a long time, but I know there's some licensing issues with Hulu in Canada. So if you are in Canada, you can enjoy Crunchyroll, and you can enjoy this show. Honorable mention, it looks like they just re-added Ouran High School Host Club to Crunchyroll.
Nice.
Again,
Nice.
it's been on Netflix and Hulu back and forth for a long time. It's still on Netflix for sure. I didn't double check Hulu, but I think it's still there as well. But again, if you're in Canada now, you can enjoy Ouran High School Host Club.
Yay.
So good.
Moving on to this is one that is on both Funimation now and Crunchyroll, which is Space Battleship Yamato 2199, which
I do
is
not remember that looking like that at all.
that is what it looks like.
Updated
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's
This is the updated
That's not
series.
the
Oh,
old
updated
one.
series.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the 2012 series.
1974.
Yeah.
Not
So
the-
this is
I was
this is
gonna
a
say.
70s one.
This is a 2012 series, which is an updated version of the 1974 series, Space Battleship Yamato, which of course is created by Leiji Matsumoto. And it's such a good way to kind of introduce, I think, a more modern audience to Matsumoto's work, because again, it does have this really beautiful animation. It's all updated. The other thing that they did with this is they really fleshed out a lot of the characters who were just kind of there and cool looking in the original Space Battleship Yamato. And also they made a very strong effort to really increase the number of female characters who are in this show and give them a much more developed role. So for example, like the Space Queen has multiple sisters in this, where she only had one sister in the original. It's really great. This is another situation of a weird licensing thing where Voyager Entertainment have the license to it. And I think they still own it, at least in part, and they had released some of it, but it never got completed. But now Funimation has the streaming rights to it. It is also on Crunchyroll, and they will be airing the entire thing to completion. They are 6 episodes in right now, and it's literally airing simultaneously, dub and subtitled. So be sure to check that out. And honorable mention to Dragon Ball Super. They just added the dubbed episodes of Dragon Ball Super to Funimation now. And guys, the dub of Dragon Ball is freaking great.
It really is.
It's really
super good.
They have a really good sense of humor, and they improvise some weird shit. It's really fun to watch the dub of Dragon Ball Super. So that's my honorable mention. Moving on to Netflix. This one is not exactly classic, but my number one vote would be for One Punch Man. When they first added it, they actually had the dub on there for like 30 seconds, and then they took it away. Again, licensing. You can have this for, okay, your time's up. One Punch Man, also based on a webcomic by 1, which was eventually turned into an actual manga that's illustrated by Yusuke Murata, who was the illustrator on I Shield 21, which is a great manga about
awesome.
American
Shut your
football.
mouth. It's great.
Yes. But basically it's about Saitama. He's super duper OP, lives in a world with lots of heroes. It's a really funny subversive take on the superhero genre. It's incredibly self-aware. It's very tongue-in-cheek, but also has a lot of heart behind it. It's really great. If you guys have not watched One Punch Man, I don't know. Just go do it now. It's on Netflix. It's great. And my honorable mention for Netflix is this year they also added Tiger and Bunny, which was also already available, I think, on Hulu. But Tiger and Bunny is freaking awesome, you guys. And it's another sort of subversive take on the superhero genre. Hashtag product placement. Yeah, it's really great.
What was it? What was the Blue Pepsi?
Yeah,
Blue Pepsi. Yep.
Yeah, it was Blue Pepsi. That was like the one thing after watching Tiger and Bunny was like, I need this.
I need this. Yeah, it's a really great show. And then moving on to Hulu, my number 1 pick for Hulu is all of the series that they added this year. Can you guys tell I like anime about space? So they added several Gundam series to Hulu this year. And again, these are all on Crunchyroll as well, but Hulu got them first.
Yes.
Which was, they added Gundam Wing, 00, 8th MS Team, Seed, and Gundam The Origin.
8th MS Team.
Now, most of these did air on TV in the US in some capacity, either on Cartoon Network during their Toonami block or on Sci-Fi. And then they kind of went into this weird purgatory where like Bandai had the license for them, but all there were these really old, expensive DVDs. And then finally at New York Comic Con in 2014, they announced their partnership with Right Stuff to re-release everything on Blu-ray. And so finally that is slowly happening, but we were lucky enough to get them all on streaming services earlier this year. In February is when they dropped on Hulu, and then over the summer was when they went up on Crunchyroll as well. I mean, guys, Gundam Wing, it's what introduced pretty much every girl of my generation to Gundam and also slash fiction. So,
as me as well.
And my honorable mention for this would also be Yu Yu Hakusho, which also went on Hulu before it went on Crunchyroll. Guys, watch Yu Yu Hakusho. It's really great. And then last but not least, Anime Strike can go die in a fire.
Wow, we're so negative about it.
What about the Anime Strike? What about the Anime Strike?
Did they resolve that?
You didn't do Anime Strike series.
I didn't do any Anime Strike series.
Pikachu, give Pikachu a voice.
All right, so I guess this wasn't really like I just wrote stuff down, but the main topic was this was going to be an open table thing. So there's 3 categories. There's the solid bets, a series you feel like you need to see, like and then kind of like the standout uniques, like a franchise that you guys would recommend that's kind of out of the cusp, like really unique, and you're just like, oh, this is the one that they need to see. And then of course, what were your disappointments for 2017? And then a little treat at the end. But let's start off with the solid bets. Michelle, go ahead.
Solid bets.
Solid bets that have been mentioned before, or no, haven't.
You can mention whatever. It's literally what your recommendation.
What your recommendation is.
Sorry, guys, but I will talk about March Comes Like a Lion, like fucking till I die. I just really like Chika, who does that show, and then also like it's not just about shogi. Like I think it really off-put people. Like in the first season, there's like 2 episodes are just about the rules, which is weird. Just don't watch them; it's fine. But like
just don't watch them.
Relationship between the characters and like how they figure out like what they need to do in life, and then there's a whole arc about the one girl starts getting bullied in school, and it's really fucking sad. And she starts getting ignored by everyone in her school, and then she tries to figure out what to do with her life. And it's really good. It's got a lot of heart. It's well animated. It's good fucking music. Better than Matt's. Said it.
Whoa.
Damn, fighting words.
Maybe
music is really good though.
I would say that, solid bets. I'm just really digging what we're reviewing right now. Like both Ancient Magus Bride and Shokugeki just make me happy every single week. And again, they're both based on really good existing source material. So, not that surprising.
Yeah. I'm with Emma on that. Also, Attack on Titan season 2, was it 2 or 3?
2.
Yeah, season 2 and My Hero Academia, I think, are my
Okie dokie.
Solid
Okay.
bets.
yeah.
I'll have some words about that later.
We'll all have words about that, I'm sure.
I think my solid bets were sadly the ones that you can't really watch. Like I really was into Inuyashiki, and I think most people will be into it. And Kakegurui, I was really into it. And I think most people will be into it.
I think my solid bets is definitely My Hero Academia. I think that's just one of those. You know, like it does kind of have the old shonen shows, but we're getting to the kind of like portions where it's super unique and it's ramping up to something really big.
Yeah,
and I think that it's kind of has some of the same appeal, but just even more so for a more contemporary audience that like Yu Yu Hakusho does, where you have these really endearing characters who are not quite what you expect all the time. So I love My Hero Academia.
I mean, it's just like, you know, these solid bets, it's like, okay, you have what, you know, a week and a half before 2017 ends. What can you watch? What should you binge, you know? And so to me, I feel like My Hero Academia, if you've never seen it and you just need something really cool to watch or recommend to a friend, My Hero Academia is definitely one of them. And if you kind of want to do a little bit of weird kind of like, hey, you like anime? Try this one. Dragon Maid for sure.
Dragon Maid is great.
Amazing. The animation is so solid. The story is solid.
Watch too.
Yeah, it's an easy watch. It's so lighthearted, and it even has great stories.
But yeah, it's no erased, guys.
All right.
So standout uniques.
I forgot all about gamers.
That was what I was
going to say.
That was so cute.
It was surprising. I didn't. It wasn't what I thought it was when I started watching it. And then by episode 2, I was like crying. Like, oh, really?
I'm in complete agreement. Gamers, go watch it.
It's very cute, but it gets a little stupid towards the end. But it's all right.
Yeah.
For
unexpectedly cute. Go gamers.
Yeah,
go.
easy watch. Man.
Yeah. I'm with Max. I really enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul Live, the movie. I thought it was like a really good adaptation of
it's
it.
really good.
I forgot that was guys. A lot happened this year.
I forgot that happened.
In anime, a lot of really great things did come out of this year. It's like we had a really good live action anime.
Tokyo Ghoul was great.
That to US. That's a good get. You know.
Just a total tangent. How was Blade of the Immortal?
Yeah,
though?
I was gonna say that Blade of the Immortal and is one of my standout uniques.
Yeah,
it is a very good 2-hour adaptation of a really complex like manga series. It was very bloody, just like the manga, and I think they did a good job in compacting the most like important parts of that manga into 2 hours. I definitely recommend you watch it. My other standout is Dad of Light.
Oh, we forgot about how great that was.
Dad of Light.
Oh my god!
Watch that shit like one day. It's very good.
I loved Dad of Light.
Was Samurai Gourmet this year as well? Can't remember.
Was that 2016?
That was last year.
I think that was last year. Yeah.
All right, well,
People in chat are asking if Mob Psycho was this year or last
year.
That
was last year.
Definitely 2016.
So my standouts, and I'm just gonna go through them real quick. Recreators, I thought was very good. It's a shame because like not a lot of people got to see it. I don't know. Is that another anime strike thing?
It started off on Crunchyroll for like 2 seconds, and then Anime Strike.
Anime Strike! What you doing to my anime? But Recreators was really interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically about like what happens when every like creations meet their creators, and it becomes like this crazy. They organize like a whole like convention. It's like insane. And I thought that was really good. All the live action ones. Fantastic. Kino's Journey, if you haven't seen it, totally
really good.
But also the Heaven's Feel movie for Fate. I've been waiting for that arc for so long, and it's very, very good. The animation is top notch. UFO
Fate,
Table can never do any wrong. But once again, that's only stand out to me because I actually know what the hell Fate is. So yeah. And my favorite category, disappointments of this year.
Disappointments.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Attack on Titan season 2, which was basically a piece of garbage.
I liked it.
I thought it was okay.
I liked.
It wasn't last season.
I liked the backstories that we got for some of the other characters. I hated the ending. I've talked about it ad nauseum on other shows, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just done.
Damn.
I mean, it just was like a season of exposition, and if you're going to do like 2 years of wait time, you can't come in with just like, hey, we have all the story to talk
The problem is
That's
it does
true,
follow the manga exact.
It's
Oh, well, they flip some shit around, actually.
Well,
They flip some stuff around.
my brother is all caught up on the manga, and he's like, it's not good. Just
It does-
stop.
the
Don't
problem
do
with-
it.
The problem with being caught up on the manga, like some of us are on the table, is that I'm not excited for season 3. We're like, well, I thought I was going to be excited.
I mean, it's hard. I kind of like where they're going with it, but it's
been like
very
half a
high
year
concept.
Yeah.
of
It's
like
very
not
high
being with the main
concept.
characters is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Like just it's a little boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want new
get that.
characters. I don't want new characters. I'm done.
Yeah, especially because like people are gonna die. It's like zombie apocalypse, but with giant people who eat people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other disappointments on this table?
Oh yeah. Black Clover, I thought was a huge disappointment.
It was supposed to be really cool.
It could have, and like you said, like reading the manga, it is cool. It's like I think it's like actually, but just
the
the anime, like just with his voice acting, it really just takes you away from it.
That literally is my biggest disappointment because there was so much hype. The hype train could not be stopped on this. Like just from work, I knew how much people were paying for this license, and then it came out, and I was like, "Yo, this voice kills it." I do not want to watch it.
Actually, because I was morbidly curious when I wrote this, I did watch an episode, and the animation quality has dipped very. Yeah.
Well, you went some
and now they added another character, which I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's the dude that wears the sunglasses and throws the fireballs.
Yeah.
Like his baseball thing, and they added him, and he now also has annoying yelly voice.
What
so
the
now there's
heck?
another character who is a fucking who just is constantly yelling with another character.
No,
that's
thank
constantly
you.
yelling.
Bye,
Bye,
Black Clover.
bye.
It's sad. Hopefully it'll pick up. I mean, it's the beginning, whatever, and it does get more exciting towards the end. But at the same time, it's just like, oh man, you guys need to do some things. You guys got to get some miracles going. Yeah. And I don't know. I would say Boruto is sort of a mixed bag for me. Is like there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But as a full season, or as I guess this is what 4 seasons or 2 seasons now technically.
Well, it's like a long one. Yeah.
It's like there's maybe like real chunks of like gleaming goodness, and everything else kind of is like is still amorphous.
First section
kept it at like they could have kept it like 12 episodes, like cutting out the stupid mist like arc filler. And then just go straight to the exams.
What Shinobi bout? What about Shinobi
And again,
bout?
guys, we know it's not technically filler because it is in the manga, but like it's not very interesting storytelling.
And then
absolute garbage.
And this is absolute garbage. Whatever you thought was absolute garbage. And really nothing in this year, which is great, is like there hasn't been anything that has been 100%.
Wait, you're wrong.
Garbage, except for Handshakers.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, I'm with you.
Death Note, the live action. You guys
absolute garbage. Wait, no, guys. Ghost in the Shell.
Oh God, that was this year?
That was earlier this year. That was March.
Messed up my life for a long time.
Dumpster fire.
They were just
Tom, Dick, and Harry
I had
about
like
that.
literally ejected that out of my mind because it was so sad.
It's like problematic.
For me, it was Neo Yokio.
Wait, I'm sorry. That was a disappointment.
Or no, that's a burning hot fire.
That's like a
mess.
mess. This is the garbage.
It's absolute garbage. Garbage now.
Yeah. So again, guys, everything is very, very subjective. I know that there are some series that people really love that you're talking about in the chat, like that we just don't watch, and I'm sorry. We only have so many hours in the day. And
it's an opinion show.
Exactly.
We're gonna do our op-eds here, kids. Well. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And with that, well, I guess maybe instead of a game, we should just
Yeah.
Why do I suck, Naeem?
Says that Matt sucks. Probably because he didn't talk about Dragon Ball Super enough.
I really love the Dragon Ball Super arc going on right now. I think it's super good.
Okay, can we
to be fair, I did watch Dragon Ball Super, and catching up to it, it is really good.
It's real good.
It's
That's for
definitely
Naeem.
That's for Naeem.
So he doesn't just like cut us off.
GT has fallen short. This is definitely
Super is great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say maybe instead of the game, we just thank our fans.
Yeah, I think so.
We just started doing this show.
Hold on, in September.
Wait, when did we start doing it?
We started doing this in September.
Oh, Emma's leaving,
September.
and Emma's
Emma's gone.
I'm out now.
I don't know what
So we've only been doing it for a couple of months. And we really appreciate you guys coming in and watching us. Our time slot has changed, but our loving fans have not. We've gained more followers, fans in the last couple of weeks, especially. We really, really appreciate you guys hanging in there.
Yeah, and you give us an outlet to all of us come together and talk about something that not everyone talks about. I feel like you know, it's something that we love. And
I
you
also
love, so
got a really nice gift from. So we did a gift exchange with anybody that wanted to in the Thumper Hyper RPG community. And my Secret Santa, Samantha, aka at the Winter Depths on Twitter, she was working at an anime convention, and so she got me just a whole bag of cute stuff. So I got like this little real Akuma, and it's a square bag, and I love it. Well, it's really a rectangle bag. Squares are even on all sides. But there's like cute little penguins and this like Sailor Moon hair clip and She like made me some freaking Sailor Moon resin jewelry, and
Jesus.
so
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, your Secret Santa game is on freaking point, and thank you so much. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
watching,
great.
if you watch on YouTube later, I really, really appreciate it. And if you have not gotten a gift yet, it might be because I'm your Secret Santa and I sent it yesterday.
That's the real garbage here.
I am actual garbage.
And everyone, thank you in the chat. People were saying, Coop Wilson, thank you so much. We helped you get back into anime. That's so nice to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really, guys, this is great.
Yeah.
I just want to
Oh.
thanks for people coming and watching this at the pretty late time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
that's when
glad-
all trash
Especially
is
those of
alive
you
at night.
who are not on the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
that's
fact
true.
that our times have changed, and I feel like I appreciate every person that actually like puts their input in, because
Yeah.
that's really the most important part of these shows, is the fact that we want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinion. So just keep on coming, and join us next year. And this, well, I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll produce stuff bigger, badder. We'll probably have like
Bigger and badder.
and badder.
Uncut.
And so there's only so much thanks that I have in my heart for
Yeah.
everyone. That's
And even throughout the break, guys, you can still tweet at us, keep that conversation going. We love hearing from you
Please.
guys. And keep watching anime, guys.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution. Watch more anime.
Watch more anime. Also watch Blood Barrier Blockade, because it's really good, and that was
Stop
actually
it.
probably one of
Stop
my
it, we're
most
done with
things.
that
Sorry.
already.
Guys, and until the new year, we are
are
HyperOtaku! See you guys in 2018! Oh, keep talking? Are we still going?
We're still here.
Naeem,
We're still
I got you,
Yeah.
Naeem. Dragon Ball Super's really good.
Stop
Dragon
it.
Ball
Stop
Super
it.
Really
is
good.
it was pretty good. Pretty
I
dope.
reject
Good art, good art.
consideration. Seriously?
Are we
Naeem?
going?
Still
Are we
going?
done yet?
Are we done?
Okay.
I'm like,
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
we're still on. There it goes.
My bad, y'all. I didn't know the.